Hello and welcome back to my channel. It's been a while since I post a gaming video on my channel, since I always post YouTube shorts. So today I just want to show you guys my first time playing online in GT7 against another player. And as you can see, for my first race I qualified in P6 driving my Ferrari. And actually we are waiting the race to be started soon. And during the gameplay later on, you can see that, well, actually I was going up against, let's say, several very good racers in this game. However, I also feel like it's kind of chaotic in this server because I don't understand about the penalty system in this game. If I remember correctly, later on I was being rammed several times, or let's say being pushed off the track when I tried to overtake other racers. And in this game they don't give a time penalty for that uh, kind of driving behavior. But I tried my best to keep my composure, to stay calm, and let's say gain some positions from my starting position. For this first race, I think I finished P4. I actually could end up in a podium, but in the last lap later, as you can see, I was doing a silly mistake by hitting a barrier. So by the way, we are going to start this race, and actually for my first lap, I think I did kind of well. It's just that sometimes I still feel like I miss the exact braking point where I need to brake my car so that I could uh, gain some time and, let's say, get a quickest lap as I can. So as you can see in the first lap, it's kind of chaotic, right? Several cars went off track, and I don't understand how they still managed to maintain their position for those who lost control of their car. And by the way, I actually love the ghosting system in this game to avoid contact with other drivers. So I try to uh, race as clean as possible in this daily race. I try to, let's say, keep the distance between other cars to avoid contact or collision. However, while I was driving my Ferrari, I don't know, I feel like uh, in the straight line, it's not quick enough, I think. So my opportunity to overtake is uh, when I entered some corners, I would say, because I think some drivers still miss the apex or miss where exactly to brake so that they can get an optimum time lapse. So we're down 2 positions, but later on I think I gained several positions because of some mistakes that were done by the other drivers. As you can see this one, and I was like being rammed a little bit, so that's why I was going off track. But again, just try to stay focused and try to maintain composure. As you can see, right, they ram into each other. I don't know why, and I kind of skid a little bit. Yeah, the guy who was driving Mercedes, yeah, it is obvious that he ran into the other guy, so that's why he get a 5 second penalty, which is reasonable. And actually, I'm trying to overtake this guy in McLaren, just waiting for other guys to make mistake, let's say. So we are in P6 now, the same as our starting position. However, I think I'm going to get P5 in this one because that guy gets 5 seconds penalty. So far so good, in my opinion. And I think after I did the online race, I feel like I still have some room to improve in my driving skill for sim racing. So that's why I think I need to, let's say, learn some more about maybe, let's say, the setup of the car or the driving style in a sim racing game. Because actually for my setup, I just go by default for the car. Actually, I have the opportunity to overtake this guy when he wheel spinned, but I don't know how he managed to maintain his position there. But actually, he is losing time, obviously, and I think I was catching up to him. The number one driver, Japanese person, I don't know where he's at, is real up front. So perhaps I think I can get third place or second place. Oh, there it is. But yeah, the guy in the Supra is actually, I don't know, like even in the straight line, he still couldn't drive straight. So he was like going everywhere. But what confused me is that he still managed to maintain his position, like I said before. So, see, he was going off track. I think I wasn't aggressive enough to over. There he is. So I overtook him, but later he was quicker than me in the straight line. So I think he overtook me later on. And as you can see on the left side of the screen, he was actually catching up with me. I think I still managed to catch up to second place, but here was the mistake that I made, which cost me a podium for my first race that I hit I hit a barrier. I should just leave some space on the left side and not get too aggressive. But I still try to catch up to those two drivers because they're fighting for their position, which means they lost some time. And it would be beneficial for me, especially they make some contacts and I can catch up to them actually. And by the way, I still need to, also defend my position because there's a like 0.2 seconds difference between me and the drivers behind me. So I also need to be careful. But again, Japanese person in the Supra, I don't know why, and I don't know how he's still able to maintain his position even though he's driving left and right. He should be losing at this point, but I don't know. So in this condition, actually, I thought to myself that if I could not catch up to those two drivers, I just tried to maintain my position, and actually it was good enough for me because I managed to gain two positions from my starting point. I started in P6 and now I was about to finish in P4. And here's kind of like infuriated me because I tried to overtake him, but he pushed me to the right side, so it is why I couldn't overtake him. And it was really close between the three of us here. But yeah, it was my first race um, in online races in GT7, and I think I did quite well, gain up to positions from P6 to P4. I think it's good enough for me. We're on to the next race. This is actually my third online race. The second one I was driving my Subaru, but because of my goldfish brain memory, I forgot to record the race, and actually it wasn't a really good race for me. I still gained some positions, but I bumped into another driver, so I wasn't really satisfied with the results actually. So in this race, again, I'm driving my Ferrari, and I qualified P7. The best lap time that I could do in this track, Daytona track, is 150. I tried to get 149, but until now I wasn't still not able to do it. I don't know if I should perhaps turn on some assists like ABS, because I turned my ABS off just to get the real feeling of the car. I want to feel the um, brake lock of the car when I brake, so I know at which point that I need to really brake when entering the corner. And actually, I was also trying to get used to let's say the real life racing situation, so that it could give me a real feeling of driving a race car, instead of just turning on some assists, and later on you will feel very bored of it. So okay, we are into our next online race. Start pretty well, I would say, and I think I still brake too early at this point. Maybe I should brake a little bit later. But yeah, that's where I always brake when entering the first turn of the Daytona track. But I wasn't in full speed because we just started, so I think I should brake a little bit later. And I was feeling a little bad for the guy. I think I kind of bumped into him a little bit because he turned into me when I tried to exit the corner. So he got spawned by me. And there's another car also going off track, so I gained 2 positions in this lap. But I think in this race, those 4 Japanese people, they're really really good. I could not catch up to them. I tried my best, but they're just too quick for me. And I'm glad that I managed to maintain P5 in this race, because I made a silly mistake again later on by going a little bit off track because I braked a little bit late, but I forgot which lap. And yeah, by the way, this is I record my voice after playing the online race. So yeah. Anyway, let me know in the comments if you have some tips for how to get even quicker in sim racing. And yeah, so in this first lap, actually, I think I did quite well for this race. But again, like I said, these 4 Japanese people, they're just too quick for me. Like I couldn't catch up to them. And as you can see on the left side, where you can see the time difference, I lose some time to the car in front, even though I gained some distance from car behind me, but I couldn't catch up to those people in front of me. Like they're just too quick, and I do not know whether this affects the, let's say, position you will end up getting after the qualification. But I saw that some drivers use I think Peugeot racing car, which is I think it's, or maybe Chiron, I forgot. They're quite quick, let's say in the straight line. Maybe I should try to use that car because I like driving this Ferrari car because they kind of quite agile when entering and exiting the corner, but they're not quite fast enough in the straight line. So yeah, and it's hard for me to overtake other drivers in the straight line every time for this daily race. And actually I just try to wait for the other drivers to make mistakes when entering the corner. They usually brake too late so that they're going off track. So I lost like 1 or 2 seconds to the guy in front of me. It was like 2 seconds behind, and now I'm like what 3.8 or let's say 4 seconds behind. So I think it's hard for me to catch up to them. So my goal here is just to maintain this P5 position, and I gained 2 positions from P7, which actually not bad at all for me. It was quite good enough, knowing that this is my third online race in GT7. So, but I still try to catch up to them. So we are like 4 seconds different between me and the guy in P4. They don't make any mistakes, so I think they are very highly skilled players, I would say. But I think I gain a little bit of time. I think because they are fighting for their position, so that's why they lost some time. But I think now they gain some time again. Yeah, as you can see, right? I think it's because they are both P4 and P3. I think they're fighting for the positions, so they lost some time. But now they're gaining again, so yeah, I try to maintain my P5 position now. And the mistakes that I made, so I think it was in the last lap if I'm not mistaken, because later on when I make a mistake and try to get on the track again, there was a car behind me, so I was quite surprised by it actually. And yeah, again, as you can see on the left side of the screen, the guy behind me gained a little bit of time, so he is catching up to me. I also gained some time to the car in front, but again I just made a little bit of mistake entering that corner, so I lost some time again. Yeah, I think when I tried to enter the corner in front later on, I braked too late because I tried to catch up with the guy in front, even though I think it is almost impossible because they're quite good in my opinion. So here, oh yeah, so I turned a little bit late, I would say, yeah, and entering the grass, so I tried to get off the track and boom, the guy behind me just appeared out of nowhere and he's catching up to me. But thankfully, I managed to maintain the position. I managed to defend the position. So, actually, I only have one chance left to defend my P5 position, which is through the corner. Because in the straight line, again, I wasn't quick enough compared to the other cars, I would say. So here, I just try to maintain my composure, try to stay calm and not panicking, because it would be bad for me if I lose this P5 position, which I managed to defend really well throughout these 4 laps. And yeah, I managed to get P5 in the end, but again, massive respect for those for Japanese people. They're just very good racers in my opinion. So if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe, like and leave a comment, and I'll see you in my next video. catch you later, guys.